What is up, Los Angeles, and welcome back to your Rams LAFB show. I am your host, Ryan Anderson. It has been a while. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 days as we're counting. We are currently just out of halftime for this incredible Sunday night game where there are already 450 yards of offense plus 49 points on the board for this very pivotal game, very important game for the Los Angeles Rams. We're going to talk about playoff picture scenarios for the Los Angeles Rams, and we're going to preview what should be a win for the Rams, but we can never count on that. Don't forget about those pesky little Carolina Panthers not that long ago. I feel like a similar team they're facing with maybe not quite as athletic of a quarterback, but I've talked too much before introducing her. Erin Coscarelli, Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the Rams LAFB show.
Do you remember me? I know I've changed my vision and I got a new computer. So honestly, that's all I needed to do. And now I'm back at it. Feel real good entering into 2026.
Yeah.
But we've said this before. And then January 3rd or 4th or whatever, all of Los Angeles caught fire in 25. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be a better year for all of us moving forward.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
I've had a rough 2 years now, to be honest with you. A lot of other things going on in the world. But
this is going to be our year. This is going to be our year.
This is where it all turns around. We're talking football today, though.
Yes, we are.
So I mean, you've been at Rams practice the last few days. Just kind of catch us up on the Haps out there in Woodland Hills. And I apologize because I got the game right here. So
I am too. I'm watching right now, 13 minutes in the third, left in the third, and it's not a score the Rams want, 28-21, San Francisco. But we'll talk about that momentarily. You know, it's been an interesting week because obviously back-to-back primetime games for the Rams. They had that huge emotional Thursday night football match loss against Seattle, and a very emotional one at that. Obviously, a lot of news was made about, Puka's frustration with the refs. He got fined. And then 11 days in between, another primetime, all-important game, this one against Atlanta on the road. And then you had Christmas and then Christmas Eve, and the team got Christmas off, but they did have to move facilities because it was torrential downpour here in LA for 2 days. So they had practice at SoFi instead of Woodland Hills. And so I made the drive in the monsoon, and it was really cool, actually. I mean, all of the stadium was sort of painted and obviously prepped for Saturday's game against with the Chargers taking on the Texans, which also was a very surprising finish. What was that you were drinking? By the way, cheers.
Hey, cheers. Yeah. This is brandy. It is a cognac.
Not as fancy, just a little orange wine.
Yeah.
Skin contact. But yeah, no, so it was really interesting. I think it's been a long 11 days for the Rams to head into the holidays. Obviously, even McVay, brand new little baby at home.
Yeah.
And then to have to pick up and kind of figure out what went wrong. He had a really interesting presser yesterday, and I loved what he said. He said, "We don't lose, we learn." And he said, "I have a funny feeling that this team will figure out how to turn your scars into strength." I mean, the guy's always got like bumper sticker sayings. Every time he says something, we're all like, "Whoa, my God." But it is what you want to hear. And, he did say, we're not victims here. We're going to learn from it and respond. And they will. They have to against Atlanta this week. So tomorrow. And we'll see how it all pans out. But a lot of playoff seeding is kind of on the next hour here, watching a Sunday night, and then obviously this upcoming Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah, and you love that sentiment coming out of the Rams camp, not wanting to be the victims. Obviously, we talked about it on a couple of different shows, your show and my show, about the bad calls. we got plenty of comments about that on our show, on our live show afterwards. It still obviously very controversial, but I think what was interesting about that game and kind of the fallout since then is the playoff seeding is not in the Rams' control. They have to rely on a few things, and we can kind of get into that. So according to ESPN, worldwide leader out there, 8.7% chance to win the division, just a 4.4% chance of earning the number 1 seed. And the athletics models pretty much corroborate that. They give them a bit better chance. Excuse me. Hosting a wild card, according to the Athletic, 11% chance, earning the number 1 seed, a 9% chance. So I actually have the Athletics model pulled up, and I'm going to share that's not the right hotkey.
Yeah, because, if you look at it, it's a little confusing. And from the model that I reposted or retweeted, one option was available for the Rams.
Well, so talking about the pivotal game tonight, if the Bears win, you seeing my screen here?
Nope, I'm not seeing your screen. But remember, I got a new computer, so how am I coming in? Am I coming in clear?
You're looking great. I think this is our best one in a while.
Wow.
Well, hopefully they're seeing what I'm seeing here. If the Bears win this game, the Rams' chances move up to 25% to host a wild card.
Say that one more time.
If the Bears win tonight, the Rams' chances of getting the number 1 seed is 22% and 25% for winning the wild card. If the 49ers win, the Athletic is giving them no chance. It's basically less than 1% chance. So let's say the Bears win tonight, the Rams will need a 49ers victory. So you're rooting for the 49ers, and you will need a Lions victory to lock up the number 1 seed and the division. So that's kind of the scenario. The closest scenario. What was the scenario that you saw?
Well, it's interesting. You're coming in delayed. So now I have PTSD. Is it me? Is it you? Anyways, we
probably
shall carry
the screen
on.
Sharing.
Shh. Let's hope that's what it is. I'm just terrified. I'm going to let this whole program down because I've done it before. Technology and myself don't go hand in hand. All right, let's see. I mean, I've pulled up this scenario where basically Chicago, obviously, Rams, yes, when it comes to week 17, and then week 18, San Francisco needs to beat Seattle. And then the Rams, obviously, the Rams need to win out. When it comes to seeding, I think the 2 and the 3, which is so interesting, right? Like, did anybody see this coming, that the NFC West was going to be the strongest division? I mean, all 3 teams like this is insane.
Yeah. And that's the thing that complicates it for the Rams right now. Obviously, those 2 losses in division,
right?
Very costly.
And the fact that one of them went to San Francisco earlier, when that really should not have been a loss.
Yeah. So I think, it's not in their control. They need a Lions victory. They need the 49ers to beat the Seahawks, which I don't see happening. And they need to win both of their games. Now they're overwhelming favorites in both of these games against the Falcons and the Cardinals. So I think they can get that done, but the rest of it is a little bit fussy. I don't know. Do you think, this Lions team, rough year for them. And then the Seahawks are playing some of the best defense that I've seen. Really dominating in recent games from the defensive front. So I think tough sledding and just an unfortunate spot that this very dominant team has landed in. And it's hard not to blame the referees. And I don't do that because it really flipped on that Seattle game.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too, because we had posted we did an interview with Andrew Whitworth this week, it feels like it's been an entire year this last week, but we did an interview with Andrew Whitworth, and obviously he was frustrated about what went down, saying he's never seen anything like it, but just because this happened, he's not worried about if the Rams need to go back up to Seattle. He thinks, again, a couple of fluke things ended up going Seattle's way. But what's always really interesting to me is to see how fans are feeling and what the fans are saying, and so fans obviously overwhelmingly frustrated, Rams fans. But then there was one comment from a woman, and it is what it is, in that the Rams had plenty of chances to win that game.
Yeah.
And just as much as they had plenty of chances to win all 4 of the games that they've ended up losing, which aside from Carolina, I felt like that Carolina game, they deservedly lost. That was a really good Carolina performance on the road in the weather. But when it came to the Eagles, the Niners, and the Seahawks, those all should have been, and weren't they all basically special teams?
Certainly those first 2, yeah.
Those first 2, and obviously they what's interesting is I was asking somebody when it came to, because somebody had a former producer of mine who played at USC football said he was having a conversation about how bad special teams looked when there was kickoff for the Rams and there was no real oomph. And so I said, well, how do you fix that? He said, you got to obviously spark something in your special teams players. And I said, well, how do you do that? And he said, well, you send a message and you fire their special teams coach. And I'm like, okay, but is that what you think? How do you, like, because that's what I'm curious about. I'm like, how do you fix that? Really? How do you fix what the special teams issues were?
Yeah, as far as I know, in terms of punt coverage and kickoff return coverage, it's just effort.
Yeah.
And
that's what he said.
What I think is interesting about that is you look at the talent, where the talent really lies for the Rams. It's high levels. It's kind of top of the roster, and we're seeing some injuries. This is probably the most injured week that we're heading into among starters. You kind of like there's a big
why don't
drop.
You say what are the injuries? Obviously, Devontae
is doubtful. Kevin Dotson is ruled out. Josh Wallace is ruled out. Roger McCreary's back. We'll see. He'll probably drop into that nickel corner role, I imagine. Keller Witherspoon has been a healthy scratch. Oh, and then Alaric Jackson is questionable along with Braden Fisk.
Yeah.
And for the Rams, this is a very, very long injury report. My point being about special teams is there's a big drop off between the starting level guys and then the guys that are playing special teams. They're not trotting Devontae Adams out there to hustle down the field to make a tackle, right? Puka Nacua is not going to be out there doing that stuff. Special teams is dangerous business. And so anyway, they're relying on, back of the roster guys, your Nick Hamptons,
Ronnie Rivers.
Yeah, 100%. So it's tough sledding, and it has been the whole time. And to be honest with you, I've always felt like this team treats special teams as kind of an afterthought. I don't feel like it is, even this move with Ben Kotwika, obviously they want to send a message. Why wasn't, if he was great at doing this, why wasn't he the dude all along? Why is Chase Blackburn the guy? And, they're going to inject something, a coaching change. He's going to come in with his ideas, and he's going to definitely have a fire under his butt because he wants this job the next year. So from the kicking perspective, and that has more to do with strategy. And I do think that they really shot themselves in the foot with Cardi, getting him to change his stride because they wanted those kickoffs, and they were working so well. And when something's working so well, McVay just wants to hit that button. He just wants to keep hitting that button. And I think they really shot themselves in the foot in that particular phase.
Elaborate what you mean by that.
About so the knuckleball kicks.
Yes, because that is what
really well. And there is, lots of claims out there. Some really smart people have talked about it across the league. Jordan Rodriguez being one of those people. She's done a lot of work with special teams, understanding the K-ball and kickers and whatnot. These are highly trained and tuned athletes. You think about, hitters in baseball, or pitchers even in baseball, who are even more finely tuned. They change something in their grip. They change how they're holding, changing how they're releasing the ball. Kickers are kind of like that. It's just as weird. So
but what you're trying to say, for people who may not be familiar with what the drama with Cardi is because he was adapting to a knuckleball or that type of kick, it was impacting his field goal accuracy. Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going with that. Yes. Thank you for clarifying. I assumed everybody was up to speed with me, but somebody actually recently commented on a video I did about the thicker kicker when he was signed. And she said, Cardi, you got this.
I mean, but you know what? That's why it's like so great to talk like this, because when you incorporate what the fans and the audiences are thinking, it's like everybody's in on it. Yes, we can talk high level, which you can do all day long. I talk the emotional side, which I think is important, which is, by the way, I'm sorry, even McVay talks about how he is not a stats guy. So I think being able to kind of include what the audience is thinking, I think it makes it even more interesting to hear how fans are interpreting all that's going on, right? Like even just sharing what my old producer said about when I posted something on social media, and then I asked him, I'm like, why would they do that? He's like, well, you got to inspire some kind of change, and getting the special teams guy, the coach, out might be what is it might be what's needed. And when you think about 3 of 4 games were impacted by special teams, and you're looking to make a playoff or a Super Bowl run, is that what you do? Is that what's happening? I mean, we're not obviously in the 4 walls of Les Snead and Coach McVay, but we are fans of the game, and understanding strategy about the most popular sport in the country is very interesting for a lot of people. So
yeah, and I often forget, because I do this 40 plus hours a week with my head in the sand. I forget often that not everybody's paying as close attention as I.
Yeah,
which is why you're tuning in to begin with, right?
We want to get the scoop.
The scoop, the juicy scoop. So yeah, I mean, my rallying cry is if special teams cost this team a championship or a shot at a championship.
You've been saying this all season, by the way.
heads will roll.
You've been saying it all season.
It will be unacceptable. I mean, this team is too good. There's watch. It's funny. There was no Chargers game on for me to watch today. I cover the Chargers as well. There was no Rams game on today. So I got to focus on some other teams today, and just solidifies even more just how good this Rams team is. This Rams team is the most complete team. They're missing maybe one phase. They got it.
One unit.
Well, yeah, exactly. But heading into this game, I mean, obviously the Rams are big favorites heading into it. The Falcons are struggling. Their quarterback is injured. Michael Penix has been out for several games now. They got Kirk Cousins in there. He's not playing at high level. Nobody's getting excited about him like they are about Phillip Rivers. Are you excited about him? Am I?
What was the common thing? What was the popular thing he said?
Dadgummit?
No. Kirk Cousins. What was this big saying?
Do you like that? Yeah, you do.
You like that? I remember I was doing the morning show for NFL Network. You like that?
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I like Kirk Cousins. I think the thing is the same reason, you root for a Phil Rivers. Is like, there's such a endearingness about them. Is that a word? Endearingness? It doesn't matter. We have seen teams completely depleted of any starters. The Niners. And I think for me, but my way of seeing this is, as I have always felt, it's all mindset. And see, now you're delayed. So am I delayed when I'm talking? Because you're delayed.
I am. It's probably me. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not delayed when I talk.
It's me then.
Oh, no, no. Do I look delayed a little bit?
No, not at all.
Guys, we have been having a real issue with I had to upgrade my computer. It's been a whole thing. The staff has been so patient. And when I say staff, I mean Ryan Anderson.
I'm gonna do it.
Look, we had McVay yesterday. He talked about Sarah Barshop from ESPN asked him about cold weather. And he was talking, which was funny too, because we had Jared Verse on, what was it, 2 days ago? 2 days ago. And he said they were talking about how cold that Jets game was last year. And that they had to wear like a scuba suit. Well, I mean, I don't know, McVay did. But this team does not want to play in the cold weather. So any kind of postseason appearance in chilly weather, Los Angelinos, we don't like it. We don't like driving in the rain. We don't like hanging out in the cold. It's just not a part of our DNA. Deal with it. So figure it out. And they have. I mean, obviously they've tried. They did beat the Jets. Not that was like a challenge. Although, by the way, Aaron Rodgers lost today. How'd you feel about that? My mom was talking to me on the phone today. She's like, "Did you know Aaron Rodgers lost?" I'm like, "Okay, Linda, calm down."
I love when Aaron Rodgers loses. It's
Why? Why? My mom doesn't love him either. What is the deal? I think he's nice. Is he just because he does the ayahuasca thing?
No, I would be down to go do ayahuasca with him. No, he's just constantly in the news cycle, and there's no reason for it. He's not a good quarterback anymore. He's done. I mean, and just let somebody else lead the way. Yeah, it's time for you to go. And until he realizes that he's going to be continually in the news cycle, and I got to think about him, and that's not fair to me because I want to think about other things. I want to think about Drake May. I want to think about Caleb Williams. There are so many other good quarterbacks in the league right now, and Aaron Rodgers is not one of them anymore.
Is he? There's zero chance he's coming back next year. Like literally zero, right?
I wouldn't say zero. Oh wow. I mean, he shouldn't. Another team should not sign him. Looking back on it, all that chatter heading into the season, Matthew Stafford wasn't signing his contract. They were talking about signing Aaron Rodgers. And just like, oh goodness gracious, could you imagine this team throwing, what's his average depth of target? Something like 1.7 yards or something like that. It's compared to Stafford, anyway.
Oh, I need to tell you, when you compare Stafford, just real quick, this happened yesterday and I'm going to post it. I'm not sure I'm going to say it, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek inside scoop. So I always try to get a little bit behind the scenes when I interview some of the players. And yesterday I interviewed Sean Dolak, who's the awesome rookie, great personality, really funny. Oh, by the way, what's going on with the score?
Up a touchdown.
We got. Oh boy. We're padding the lead here. So I interview Sean because I'm dying to get just sort of how he's felt being here, and he's such a personable guy. And obviously, what happened on Halloween, he impersonated McVay, right? Yeah, and it went viral, and to me, it was such a risk to do because you're a rookie, and you really got to have the embrace of your brothers and the coach to be able to get away with that. And you also need to have a coach that is okay with, has a good sense of humor. And when I interviewed Dolak, it was actually funny because this is how much of a humble kind leader Stafford is. A lot of times I'm in this tight hallway and I set up, we have a camera and it's just a hallway. It's really narrow. And most of the guys don't even notice. They just walk through the shot, which is fine. Stafford walks in, $40 million arm, and he crawls under that camera, makes sure he does not interrupt our shot. And me and Sean are looking, like, oh my God, of all people, you can just please, we will gladly let you interrupt our shot. This is you're the holy grail. Your arm is the arm of the franchise. And he was so humble that, to me, it actually spoke volumes. If you notice the little things about, I'm interviewing this rookie, and he cared more about making sure that this interview with the rookie came out great. And, and it was just, that's to me what it says about this team. It says about how Stafford is as a person, not just a player. And, I've never covered a team where Rodgers was on it, but you made me think of what would it be like at the podium when you hear Rodgers versus when you hear a Stafford, and how humble Stafford, who gets talked about all the time with the MVP race, has never, he's like, it would be great to be recognized, but that's not why I'm doing this.
Yeah, no, it's, when you're that good at something, anything really, the temptation is there to become an a-hole. And he doesn't seem like he's ever become that, which is incredible. And, testament to the fact that, he's gotten better over the years as well. Like, he's never stayed complacent. He's never been like, no, I'm really good at this game. I don't really need to work on it at all. He's obviously, he's changed so much this year, even like going back to the 2021 Super Bowl year. He was in super gunslinger mode. The Rams had no running game whatsoever. He was throwing picks left and right. We always have to be reminded of that one that in the NFC Championship that almost was a pick, that could have cost them that game, but didn't. That led to them with the chance of Super Bowl. And now he's protecting the ball. He's dirting the ball when he's under pressure. He's not, he's playing the way that he has to as a 37-year-old quarterback. And
he has how many interceptions now? Is it 5, 6? Obviously it's very few.
5,
yeah, 5, I think, and 40 or however many touchdowns.
Which is incredible. Yeah. So, yeah.
But wow, we made this episode longer than we had a lot to talk about, apparently.
Well, we haven't talked in a few days, so get it all off our chest. We'll just hop back into playoff scenarios just because we're talking about cold weather a little bit. So the 5, 6, and 7 are all on the table. Probably 5 or 6 is the reality for the Rams, which means if they're 5, they will play the Buccaneers or the Panthers. That won't be decided until next week. They have they're going to basically play a playoff game between each other, the Panthers and to decide who's going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who wins the end?
That's good.
Yeah. Right.
Who do we want to face more? I mean, obviously we beat the Bucs, but don't you think the Bucs are a better team? Or
yeah, it depends on what their health level is at that point in the season. If they get some of the guys back, I haven't looked at their injury report in a while, but they've been hurting at all sorts of places. Kalijah Cansey's been out. Their offensive line has been tattered. Their wide receivers have been in and out. Bucky Irving doesn't look quite himself quite yet. So, I don't love taking on that Panthers team again, but I think it would go differently. Now the difference is. We'll see, 2 and 3, the 2 and 3 seeds are going to be decided between essentially the Bears and the Eagles. And
right. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's go through this. Okay. So the 1 seed, should Seattle finish out, would be the 1 seed. Then 2 and 3 would be Eagles, Bears. 4 and 5 would be SF, LA.
4 and 5 would be Panthers / Bucks. So that would be 4.
Right.
And then it would be 5 Rams or 49ers, and then Packers at 7.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So interesting stuff there.
Yeah. And your least likely team you'd want to have the Rams face would be?
Eagles defense is really coming along. Their offense is still weird. I think they scored 13 points in a win today. Playing against the Bills. I can't remember how many points, but it wasn't a lot, and they didn't look great. But that defense is looking ferocious. So that's where, yeah,
they still have a really good quarterback and a running back that's known to hurt the Rams from time to time.
Yeah, hurdle a few people backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, any thoughts on this Falcons game before we get out of here? I mean, is there anything on your radar?
I think yes. I think when this amount of time has gone by, when you've had such an emotional letdown and you have to, regroup, I almost wonder, is it a lot of time? Is it too much time to think about it? Obviously, Byron Young and Jared Verse get named to the Pro Bowl. Some good things happen. Stafford and Puka get named to the Pro Bowl. We heard from all four of those guys this week. Even Puka talking about how he is, trying to turn around the frustration and use it as, put it in the right form of energy. I guess we'll just have to see how this team responds. I think the thing I thought was really interesting, whereas the secondary, there's a lot of depth. How will we see, based on matching, with personnel? I think, to me, based on what I've been hearing from fans or people that are curious the most about the team, is what's that going to look like? Why has Akello really not been making his presence known since he's been available? Haven't seen a lot out of Tutu, despite the fact that Devontae has not been totally available. I did see him working out Devontae yesterday. He looked good. But at what point and a lot of people are wondering, when do you even activate Devontae? When does he become available? If he's dealing with a nagging hamstring, do you hold him out? Do you try to, it's unlikely he's playing tomorrow, right? He's doubtful, but what about week 18? Obviously it's the Cardinals, so it's not like it's some crazy, do they just hold him, rest him, and put him in for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I would opt for them to rest him. I mean, I don't think this is going to it shouldn't be a challenging game. I will say that those injuries are interesting. The Falcons do have a good pass rush, so looking at, Kevin Dotson and Alaric Jackson, how they're holding up is going to be interesting. Their pass rush, the Falcons pass rush has been somewhere. Yeah, so total pressures, they're 8th. Pressure rate 7th in the league. They blitz a lot, which is not a great strategy against Stafford, but that's really the way. That's really the way to slow down this offense, is getting pressure on him. So with those two guys,
and also he doesn't. It's not like he has. Think about how Devontae has made the offense so much more lethal and complex, right? You're either you're double covering, you're taking pressure off of somebody when you have a guy like Devontae in the lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how if the offense struggles a little bit because they don't have the defense kind of keying in on a threat like Devontae. And the other thing is that I'm interested in seeing is now, the run game with Blake Corum is starting to really nicely roll out. What's up with 13? Are we going to see the tight end? My girlfriend Taylor is going to be covering the game for NFL Network. And she was asking about Colby and his involvement. So I'm curious about what we're going to see out of that. How are we going to see this team diversify offensively is I guess my curiosity.
Yeah, Jesse Bates had a really good observation. He's a safety for the Falcons, and he was, he said when Devontae wasn't in there, they leaned much more heavily on the run, and that was the case last week without him out there. And you think about where Devontae has really changed the calculus for this team, and it's in the high leverage situations. It's goal lines, it's third downs, when those got to have it first downs, keeping the offense on the field. He's really been a security blanket for Stafford, and without him there, we really felt the difference last week on Thursday. So, very different defense, very different offense. But I think that, they should be looking for other answers. And I think these two games
Right.
are a good time to be like, all right, Konate Mumfield, what do you have? All right, Jordan Whittington, what can you bring?
Yeah.
Can you be the guy? Can you step up into that?
Yeah.
Obviously, neither of those guys are. I'm done with Tutu. I'm not going to talk about him again until he makes a big difference. I'll get right back on the Tutu train when he does make a difference. But on the other side of the ball for the Falcons, I'm looking at Bijan Robinson, number 5 in rushing yards, number 30 in receiving yards across everybody, wide receivers, tight ends, everybody. He's second behind only Christian McCaffrey among running backs with receiving yards.
Oh, game's tied, by the way.
Yeah, I just saw that heading into the fourth quarter. Oh, wow. I see this going the 49ers way.
35-35. That is a high scoring affair.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like 3 more touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, definitely watching for Bijan Robinson, and then Drake London's back as well. Kyle Pitts is having a really good year too. So they have weapons on offense. It's just all up to Kirk Cousins, who is a statue in the pocket. He's not moving around. So should be like Jared Verse. Come on.
Yeah.
Sacks.
Come on. Yeah.
So
he's got to up his sack total. He was talking about that at the presser. He was like, yeah, my numbers aren't what, and he's making a huge.
The Pro Bowl thing and that kind of talk, I want Jared Verse dialed in talking about, I want to take down Kirk Cousins. I want to destroy his life. I want to.
How do we really feel about this? Yeah, it's an opportunity there. It's an opportunity to respond to naysayers. And, to me, this season has all been about momentum and mindset. So, and you see it in the games, right? With the defense getting turnovers, the momentum or the mindset shifts. So I still, and even for Stafford, who's obviously a legend and a veteran, last week, you even mentioned it. Something seemed, what was that?
Oh, Brock Purdy almost got sacked. It was.
Are you the kind of person that I am this way? I mean, this was me last Thursday yelling like psychotically at the TV.
Yeah. I mean, I say one of the reasons I like football is it helps me experience actual human emotions on a regular basis.
It lets you get things out. You can express yourself better. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Are you an avoidant? I'm a classic avoidant.
I have not taken that personality test, but probably. I am.
Do you even know what that means?
I have heard of that personality test, and so my one of my famous catchphrases is "I'll cross that bridge when I get there." So I think that is exactly what an avoidant person would say.
Nailed it. We don't want to think about it. We're just like, put us on cruise control.
What do I have to think about it? I'm going to Idaho in a few days. Am I excited? Not today. Talk to me on Tuesday.
Wait, what's in Idaho? Coeur d'Alene? What part?
Sun Valley.
Oh, for New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Little mountain getaway.
I'm surprised you traveled during the holidays. It's work, but you know what? You're fortunate. Your job can be remote.
I'll have the mic. Have the computer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll still be working, but just in a more elk-filled setting, more snowshoeing in my life.
Yep.
More chairlift.
Well, listen, if I was able to do it in a different continent, you can do it in a different state. So.
For sure. Yeah. Remember? You were in Australia. Yeah.
We were filming in Australia. Yes.
It was like one of our first shows. Wow.
How dare you forget? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel my new computer held up? Are we good with it? Are we still dicey? We're good, right?
I think we're golden. I just have to figure out my situation. I'm pushing the RAM on my computer pretty. Oh
yeah. That was my problem.
Yeah, always. Well, guys, that's what we got for this week. We will be back to review this game tomorrow night. Win, loss, or draw, we'll be here for you guys. As always, we'll be going live, so be ready with your comments, thoughts, questions, concerns, and necessary BS, what have you. Until then, guys, hang in there. Monday Night Football, here we come.
Hey, Ramley, thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching the Rams LAFB show. Quickly before you go, got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. It's the #1 sports app right now, and you've got to download it because it's got so many great features that I want to tell you about. Aside from season-long fantasy, which is the best in the business, they've also got live score trackers, in-game updates, plus the live chat where you can actually communicate with other users right on the app. But perhaps the best feature, at least that I like, is the daily fantasy feature or the live pick'em. Just pick 2 to 8 players across any sport, baseball, basketball, hockey, obviously football and our Rams. You're going to choose a player, just choose more or less. Matthew Stafford, more or less passing yards. Kyron Williams, more or less rushing yards, more or less touchdowns. 2 to 8, you can win real money. So when you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code RAMSLAFB, and Sleeper's going to give you a match bonus up to $100. So you deposit $100, they're going to give you $100 free. You're now sitting at $200. You put in $10, they're going to match you $10. You're now sitting at $20. But on top of that, right now, Sleeper is offering all new user signups a $20 free entry, no deposit required. Go sign up. You're automatically invested $20 straight from Sleeper. But you can stack that offer with that match bonus offer to add more money. Just make sure you use that promo code RAMSLAFB. Go check out Sleeper. Download it today. Tell them the guys at the Rams LAFB sent you. And as always, Ramley, thank you so much for making us a part of your day.